Now at 9, a look at why the state of Missouri is now investigating Liberty Utilities.
What jobs are actually hiring in the 4 states? I'm Lonnie Walton. I spoke to 2 experts. I'll have their responses coming up.
And we'll show you how the Carthage School District is helping the class of 2038 prepare for the first day of school.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri launches an investigation into Liberty Utilities operations in the state. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. In a meeting today, the Missouri Public Service Commission voted 5-0 to launch an investigation into all Liberty utility companies operating in Missouri. The commission says this investigation comes following a series of inquiries, complaints, and comments from customers about Liberty's billing and customer service. In August of last year, KOAM reported on billing issues in the 4 states. The commission says they've heard the concerns loud and clear.
We want to make sure that everything that we can do to assist the customers, and also to make sure the company's doing the job that they're supposed to do, that we are taking the lead on that. So I appreciate this investigation and I support the order.
In a statement, KOAM Liberty Utilities says, quote, "We are actively working to address these concerns." They add, "We know we have work to do, and we are fully committed to make necessary improvements." You can read their full statement on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Authorities say it turns out there was no danger to students today following a report of gunshots near a northeast Oklahoma school. The Quapaw School District went into lockdown a little before noon today when an Amazon driver reported someone was shooting a gun behind the administration building. Investigators determined it was a person shooting target practice about 4 blocks south of the school, and that there was no threat to the district. But they did arrest that suspect, requesting a charge of reckless endangerment with a firearm. An 18-year-old woman has now died from her injuries following a crash in Jasper County. Now, this crash happened Monday morning on Missouri 171 near Carthage. Authorities say a car rear-ended a tractor trailer. The truck was traveling about 65 to 70 miles per hour. The car was traveling much faster. The woman driving the car was flown to Springfield with critical injuries. She has since died at the hospital. And a Joplin man has died from injuries following a Sunday afternoon crash. The 2-vehicle crash occurred on 23rd and Maiden Lane. The car turning left onto Maiden Lane struck a motorcycle in the outside lane. The driver of the motorcycle, Douglas Greer of Joplin, was taken to a local hospital and has now passed away from his injuries. Joplin authorities respond to a house fire last night in the 800 block of South Ohio Avenue, just south of Ewart Park. Firefighters were able to put out the flames quickly. However, the fire had spread to the attic, and firefighters needed to rip out parts of the ceiling to gain access to the attic fire. No one was in the home, and there were no reported injuries. And a house fire from last week ultimately takes a life. The incident happened last Tuesday on Spurgeon Road, south of Joplin. Emergency crews discovered a single-story home with visible smoke. Crews rescued the only occupant who suffered severe burns. That individual was transported to a local hospital where they died from their injuries today. Well, meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures dropping down to the upper 30s and low 40s tonight. So overall, it's going to be a pretty average night, average cool night. Clear skies. Winds have died down a little bit. We had a breezier day today, and winds are going to pick up as we head into Friday as well. We've been talking about it for about a week now. Winds are going to be gusting pretty strong, up to 40 miles per hour. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. But you can see we don't have much going on out in the area. A few clouds northwest of us, but we're looking really good for the weekend. Now, we've got rain chances coming up later on this week and a couple of wind shift lines, and that starts on Friday. So we've got southerly winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour by 8 a.m., but picking up very quickly, gusting up to 40 to even 45 miles per hour later in the morning until early afternoon. Then we have our wind shift line pushing in. That's going to shift the winds out of the north. We're going to see a little bit of a breezier Saturday morning as well. Now, outside of that, temperatures are really warm on Friday, but Wind shift brings a little bit cooler temperatures for the weekend, and I'm going to have a full look coming up.
The Crossland Technology Center at Pitt State hosted a Wood Product Manufacturing Day. The event brings students of all grade levels out to find more about full-time employment, internships, scholarships, and some good old-fashioned networking.
So it's a great opportunity for companies to come at one time and interact with our entire student body, as well as students have the opportunity to speak with many companies all at one time. So just, it opens a lot of doors and allows a lot of networking between companies, students, and then also in between companies as well.
18 companies attended the event looking for full-time workers or summer interns. Many of the companies represented are right here in the 4 states, but some made the trip from as far as Nevada and Florida. Well, if you're currently looking for a job, local hiring companies tell us there's many openings in the 4 states. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has more about how the local job market is doing.
I want to be a physician assistant. That's my long-term goal.
Freddie is a junior in high school. He says he has dreams of working in the medical field.
I feel like health is a big part of your life. Like, you're happy if you're healthy.
According to local experts who monitor job trends, there's been a need for local healthcare workers in the 4 states. That's why a career event was put on by Franklin Technology Center to educate students in all fields about opportunities available now.
As people are retiring, aging out, so on and so forth, we need to build our pipeline.
And that's not the only industry looking for workers. The experts tell us that there's more open jobs in the 4 states right now than usual. That's on trend with the national numbers. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce reports that almost 2 million fewer Americans are participating in the workforce compared to February 2020. Sarah Shinks from Express Employment Professionals says the need for workers isn't just limited to one field.
We're seeing a lot with auto mechanics. That kind of industry is really heavy right now, as well as factory and manufacturing. It is growing quite a bit.
And although online is a great source, they say it's not great in every situation.
A lot of people that are looking for work that always go to Indeed, and they get a little distraught when they have been looking for work for 2 to 3 months and they're not getting any calls back. The biggest thing to remember is that not everybody that's applying on Indeed is real.
Reporting in Joplin, Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Shanks recommends reaching out to employment placement companies for help. Not only do they assist in the job search, but they can help with other things like brushing up on interview skills. Well, coming up, Tariff Tuesday.
President Trump set to impose huge tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China on Tuesday. Democrats warn Americans should get ready for higher prices. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
But first, a new Missouri bill aims to help farmers find affordable health care coverage. For Missouri farmers, finding affordable health care coverage can be a challenge. A bill in the House aims to help. Chris Bryant shows us one family's expensive plan and the need for more options.
Brian Kagi owns Kagi Farms here in Missouri. Currently, his family of 5 and his mother are on a private insurance plan.
The premiums for the Kagi family are $3,200 a month with a nearly $14,000 deductible. For Kagi and his family, they are optimistic that recent testimony in the Missouri House could lead to a more affordable option for their family. House Bill 366 would allow organizations like Missouri Farm Bureau to offer health coverage plans to their members. Under the bill, should it be passed, Kagi is hopeful the new health plan could save his family nearly 30% of what they currently pay.
And I think that, the people of this state are smart enough to be able to decide if that's an option that works for them or if they need to look elsewhere. But another option would definitely be appreciated, and that's why I'm always a bit surprised at the pushback. Like we're not asking for government funds to cover this. It's just need the ability to offer another option.
Similar bills have been presented to the General Assembly in the past. This year's bill, House Bill 366, completed public hearings this week. Well, the largest measles outbreak to hit Texas in decades has grown to more than 130 cases. Now, yesterday we reported the first death from measles in the U.S. since 2015. An unvaccinated child in the Lone Star State. It has also spread to New Mexico. On CBS Mornings, CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook discussed the virus he called extraordinarily contagious.
In addition to it being very infectious, it has a long incubation period.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So when you if you were to get infected, it would take 10 to 14 days for it to actually to get sick. During that time, you could travel all over the place.
And spread it.
And spread it to an airport, to a store, feeling fine.
Measles symptoms include a high fever, cough, and watery eyes, and a red body rash. Doctors stress the measles vaccine, given in 2 doses, is 97% effective against the virus. Pittsburgh city employees gather at Memorial Hall to participate in a health fair today. The event provided services like blood pressure checks, as well as information on dentists and doctors in the area.
Hope that they make connections with the vendors so they know who to call. Obviously, they contact their human resources department, but also so they know who to call, get faces with names, when they're dealing with anything health related or safety related.
The city says it provides events like this as a benefit to employees' health and as a way to reduce healthcare costs. Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later hopes for building a new network of data centers to power America's AI dominance encounter a number of logistical issues, from a lack of power to finding the right real estate.
Tuesday, it was really nice, loved it outside. We're gonna do that again on Friday. It's gonna be pretty sunny, but also very windy. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. And then we've got a wind shift line coming in Friday night, dropping our temperatures down on Saturday. So we're getting down into the 50s. Now we can see clear skies, really nothing going on in the area, at least not tonight and not tomorrow. Now, we're going to warm up really quickly, so sunny again all day long. Temperatures starting off, our low hitting about 40 to 39 degrees, and then we're going to be warming up to the mid 40s, upper 40s by 8 a.m., 50s by 9 and 10, and then 60s by 11. Like I said, we're getting into the low 70s. So let's go ahead and walk through. Friday afternoon, we're already hitting mid 76 in Joplin, 69 in Miami. Now, few clouds roll through as that front passes. You can see winds shift out of the north. That's going to be moving into early Saturday morning. Outside of that wind shift, we're not getting much else. We're not going to see any rain chances along that front. Temperatures are dropping down. This is Saturday afternoon, so we're back down into the 50s. Now, 50s is right about average. This is right where we should be for this time of year, and it's going to be sunny. So overall, still a nice day on Saturday, though maybe a little bit cooler. Now, we've got another wind shift line, so winds coming out of the south as we head into Sunday morning. Temperatures are a little bit cooler to start off with, in the low 30s, right around freezing. Now, like I said, we're going to see these winds pick up later in the evening and into Friday morning, gusting by 9 a.m. up to 40 miles per hour, and that's going to be mostly out of the south-southwest ahead of the front that's moving in on Friday. Now, those winds shift, winds pick up out of the north, 20-25 miles per hour as we head into Saturday morning, and it's going to be a little bit cooler, so you might see a bit of a wind chill with that as well. Now, our next big system is coming in Sunday night and Monday, so we've got our first little system. It's a little shortwave trough, just kind of a little low pressure system that's going to shoot off into the area, not bringing any storms, but bringing a few rain showers. It's going to be late Sunday and into Monday morning, but our big system follows right behind it. So we've got this deep low pressure system, and that's going to be moving into the area Tuesday morning, getting some showers early in the day, light sprinkles, but thunderstorms later in the evening. So that's going to bring not a severe threat, but we might get some thunderstorms, maybe a little bit of lightning, and that's going to be on Tuesday. And we're also pretty warm during the day as well. So we're definitely going to see a nice few rain chances as we head into next week, but we've got this weekend to still enjoy some of that nice sunny springtime weather.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful forecast. We're just going to keep on enjoying it.
Just, wait
Simple
for the
as
rain.
that.
I mean, the rain is part of spring, You can't get the nice, beautiful weather without a few thunderstorms and showers, unfortunately.
Yeah. And eventually, it's part of spring. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think any of those are going to be severe enough to where we need to keep an eye on them, though?
As of right now, we're watching Tuesday, but not a huge severe threat for us right now.
All right. Well, if you think back to the vehicle you drove in high school, there's a good chance it didn't look like these. This was Drive Your Tractor to School Day at McDonald County High School in honor of National FFA Week. The school's Facebook page posted photos of some of the cool rides and the proud young drivers. So cool. Well, coming up, the AI data center dilemma.
President Trump wants to build data centers across the U.S., but where? I'm Evan Brown in Miami. I'll have that story straight ahead.
Hopes for building a new network of data centers to power America's AI dominance have met stark reality with logistical issues from lack of power to finding the right real estate. And now a growing number of companies are stepping up to help fill the void. Fox's Eben Brown has more in this edition of our Fox on Tech series.
Demand for data centers is surging in 2025 as cloud and AI infrastructure drives big tech to expand its physical footprint. Now, a growing number of industry leaders say there's a need to ramp up building so-called AI factories, facilities with large amounts of power that can accommodate the hardware and software powering the AI revolution.
The foundation of everything is really cloud computing. That alone drives a tremendous amount of compute power. Then you layer AI and that demand on top of cloud computing.
That's where companies like Clayco Compute come in. They're essentially creating the tools to expand the AI marketplace, working with clients like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google to identify locations for new data centers, then bringing in the electrical components, cooling devices, transformers, and other high-tech gear to keep the centers functioning. But it hasn't been easy.
They're facing the challenges of finding sites that have amicable power. They're facing the challenges of engineering. These buildings are getting more complex.
President Trump recently announced a $500 billion investment to build data centers. Experts say it is a good first step towards realigning America's tech priorities so the U.S. can be the global leader in artificial intelligence.
That's what a lot of these new initiatives are helping accomplish, is really getting not just a few large companies driving this, but getting the country and everybody that's within it driving it.
And these trends are likely to accelerate with more than $1 trillion being invested in data centers over the coming 5 years. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Trump administration is looking at boosting egg imports to help crack surging prices due to bird flu. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it's putting more than $1 billion towards fighting bird flu, providing relief for affected farmers, and developing a bird flu vaccine. According to Consumer Price Index data, egg prices jumped more than 50% in January compared to the year before. Up next, we take you to Joplin's newest Story Walk installation, how the first featured book will motivate the entire family to get moving.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up, Toyota.
Visit your local Toyota dealer to lease a new 2025 RAV4 for just $369 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Love is in the air at Prairie Moon Casino, where our hearts are burning to give you cash.
So come spin our wheel for your share of the stash. Come howl with us.
With fresh looks arriving monthly, there's always something you love at Furniture Row, like the Yukon reclining leather sectional. Draped in top grain leather with a multifunctional console, the Yukon is the pinnacle of power reclining comfort. Or dine on the Meadow Lake. With a rounded edge top and eye-catching turned legs, this farmhouse-inspired set marries nostalgia and durability. And for your bedroom, the glamour. With sparkling LED-lit rhinestones, this upholstered bed creates a sophisticated glam sleeping sanctuary. Find the latest looks and more now at Furniture Row.
I want something fun, still professional, something professionally fun.
It's okay to be particular.
Not too medium, more rare than medium, but still medium rare.
Especially with your insurance.
We need policies that
help cover your house, cars, boat, and provide peace of mind.
Yes.
Exactly.
With Shelter Insurance, our agents help you design a plan that's particular to you for insurance that fits just right. Find a Shelter agent near you.
See Shelter agents Joy Long, Matt Sherrill, or Spencer Lane in Joplin for a free personal protection review.
We are Footprints on the Moon.
Live. Get ready to rock. Performing their greatest hits.
Play something we can dance to.
The Big Bang Theory.
Tonight at 10:30, right here on Fox 14.
Dear Winter, our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready. Bundle up, Toyota.
Visit your local Toyota dealer to lease a new 2025 RAV4 for just $369 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Closed captioning is brought to you by AutoInjury.com and the law offices of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
One Joplin unveils a new Story Walk installation at Leonard Park. The Story Walk features permanent holders that follow a paved, scenic path through the park. One Joplin partnered with both the Joplin Family YMCA and the city's Parks and Rec Department to create the first Story Walk. The first featured story is Run, Oscar, Run, a book that encourages readers to get moving.
When they read one page, it might tell them, go up and take a lap around the nearest tree and progress to the next page. And so we love the idea that it makes it accessible to a lot of kids. Some kids love to cuddle up and read, while others sitting down for that may be kind of challenging for them.
Brown says they plan to switch out the stories on a quarterly basis. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Massive job cuts across the federal government are starting to have a real impact. How are they affecting you? And Tariff Day could be coming soon as President Trump threatens steep new taxes on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China.
You're watching the 4 States most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. The Department of Government Efficiency says it's saving taxpayers billions by slashing government jobs. But outside of Washington, the impact is starting to be felt. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from the White House.
President Trump and his Department of Government Efficiency are moving full steam ahead to reduce the size of the federal workforce. At least 30,000 have been fired so far, and there are even deeper cuts expected in the coming weeks. But outside the Beltway, the job cuts are starting to result in some cuts in services, including at national parks like the Grand Canyon, where folks have been complaining of hour-long wait times to enter because many of the gate attendants have been laid off.
You'd be surprised how few there are and how important their role is.
We see the Rangers in action, and they're not just sitting at a desk.
It's also implicating the veterans' health care system. Some specialists like art and music therapists have lost their jobs. They say wounded warriors are now being cut off from an important outlet to deal with their trauma.
Some people need the help, and help them. And give them help as long as they need it.
It's a similar situation with the U.S. Forest Service. Steep cuts mean fewer first responders in remote areas.
If there's no one there to answer the phone, I don't know how that will affect our people here.
But Republicans say the cuts are needed. It's the only way to solve America's debt crisis, and the effort will ultimately result in better, more streamlined government services.
The public wants us to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. It's costing them more in taxes. They get less services from the government.
The Department of Government Efficiency says it saved taxpayers $65 billion so far. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Trump welcomes British Prime Minister Keir Starmer to the White House. Their meeting today comes as the U.S. and Europe continue to try to mediate negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. Part of Starmer's focus during the visit was convincing Trump that Ukraine needs to be a part of those talks. Tuesday will be Tariff Day if President Trump carries through on his threat to slap a 25% tax on imports from Canada and Mexico, and to increase tariffs on China by another 10% as punishment for the ongoing flow of illegal drugs into the U.S. The tariffs could hit shoppers hard at a time when voters are voicing serious concerns about high prices. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
President Donald Trump is moving forward with planned tariffs on America's largest trading partners, saying they're not doing enough to fight the flow of illegal drugs into the U.S.
A lot comes through Canada, and as Mexico gets stronger in terms of the border, it goes up to Canada, and a lot of drugs are coming in through Canada.
Starting March 4th, Mr. Trump plans a 25% tax on goods from Canada and Mexico, plus an extra 10% tariff on China, in addition to the one he imposed earlier this month.
These countries treat us like crap, and now President Trump has said, enough. We are going to be treated fairly around the world.
Then on April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs go into effect, matching the level other countries tax U.S. imports. Additionally, Mr. Trump would impose a 25% tariff on vehicles from the European Union.
The EU has been really very bad to us in terms of trade. And I'm a different kind of a president. I can't let that happen.
A new Harris poll finds almost 60% of Americans believe tariffs will lead to higher prices. Democrats warn they'll affect the cost of everything from gas to food.
Higher energy costs make it more expensive to transport nearly all goods and materials across the country.
Agriculture often bears the brunt of retaliatory tariffs, and this puts more markets in jeopardy as farmers try to plan this year.
That Harris poll finds 44% of Americans think tariffs will hurt the economy, compared to 31% who say they'll help. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, the Carthage School District is helping parents get their kids ready for kindergarten.
Well, it's been a warm couple of days. Now we're heading into the weekend, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we can expect. Taking a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We've got light winds right now and clear skies. So overall, tonight's looking fantastic. Temperatures dropping down to the upper 30s, low 40s. Our high today got into the mid 60s, so it was a little bit cooler than what we saw on Tuesday because we did have a cold front that came through on Wednesday, dropping our temperatures for a few days. Now, we're still above average for the highs. Now our lows are a little bit closer together, and we're going to see that warm up continue as we head into Friday. Temperatures getting into the low to even mid 70s in some areas, but we've got a cold front coming through Friday night, dry front, but it will drop our temperatures down on Saturday. So let's get right into it. We've got nothing really going on today or even tomorrow other than strong winds. That's going to be starting off in the morning. Windy conditions, but sunny, so overall pretty nice. Now in the morning we might still deal with a bit of a wind chill as these winds are picking up to 40 miles per hour. Now temperatures are going to be rather warm though, and warming up even quicker. So we're starting off again low 40s, upper 30s by 8 a.m. We're already getting into the upper 40s, 50s by 9 and 10, and then 60s by 11. Again, sunny all day long. Overall, it is going to be a really nice day. Temperatures getting up to the low 70s, 69 in Nevada, 71 in the 8th Center, 71 in Parsons. We've got a northerly breeze as that front starts to push in mid-afternoon on Friday. And then we have a few clouds, but overall, the front isn't bringing any rain chances, just those strong wind gusts. And it is going to drop our temperatures on Saturday as well. So getting to the high for Saturday, only getting into the lower 50s in the Joplin area, mid 50s in Miami, 57 in Parsons. You can see winds are starting to slow down. We're actually going to see the winds shift yet again as we head into Sunday. It's a little bit of a ways away though. So let's start back with Friday morning. This is about 8:30. We've got those southwesterly breeze moving 40 miles per hour. That wind shift moves in, and we're going to see those northerly winds still gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour most of the morning on Saturday as well. So this is about 9:30 on Saturday. We're still seeing that northerly breeze and at a drop in temperatures. Now our next chance of rain isn't going to be until Sunday. We've got two low pressure systems that we're going to be watching. Our first one is this little short wave trough, little guy, starts to push in Sunday evening and into Monday morning, bringing a few light showers, though not any thunderstorms with that. It's just a little short system, moves past us, and then we're watching our deep low pressure trough, and that's going to be pushing into the area Tuesday, bringing some potential stronger storms. Now, the severe threat is limited, but we are still watching it. We've got a lot of things hindering that system, but we're likely still going to see thunderstorms and lightning with that. Temperatures are pretty warm, and we're going to be watching that system and showers clear out by Wednesday morning. Now, as we head into the rest of March, we are expecting to see quite a few more showers, but this is just our first little batch of those spring showers. Some thunderstorms kind of moved in there, and we are going to see it drop in temperatures a couple of days, but I mean, we're back up to 50s and 60s pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's spring. It's supposed to be nice like this.
Exactly.
We'll take it. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, the Salvation Army and the American Red Cross are teaming up in Joplin for a special two-day event aimed at strengthening disaster response in the community. The event, called Love Beyond Times of Disaster, takes place at the Salvation Army of Jasper and Newton County.
We'd love for them to come out and learn more about the resources that we can provide to families that have experienced an emergency, but also to learn how they can prepare themselves in case of an emergency that happens. The more prepared you are, the more you know your neighbors, the more resilient the community will be.
The event is free and open to the public, and vendors, anyone interested, can register online. Coming up in sports, 4 wrestlers from Miami High School head to the state tournament. Plus, Missouri Southern basketball hosts Central Missouri. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
We've got college basketball action once again tonight in the 4 states. Missouri Southern plays its penultimate home games of the season. Missouri Southern women's basketball at home for the first time in nearly 3 weeks, playing host to Central Missouri. We pick it up late third quarter. Lions lead by 6. Reese Webb piloting the fast break. She finds Caitlin Honeycutt wide open for the easy 2. We go ahead early fourth quarter. UCM falls into a 15-point hole, but this 3 from Allie Clevenger cuts into that deficit. A couple minutes later, it's a 10-point game, and Grace Frazier, the freshman from Diamond, Missouri, gets fouled and the shot drops. She'd convert the 3-point play at the line. Then it's Honeycutt. Her turn to get out the action. She drains a 3-ball from straight away. The two of them would help push the Lions across the finish line. Back to Frazier. This time, she rises up from the free throw line and buries it. She finishes with 14 points and 7 assists. Then Honeycutt. Again, the teardrop floater falls. She scores 15 to go with 4 rebounds, and Southern pulls away down the stretch for its second win in a row. Final score 78-59. Now to the men's game. Lions hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak. The visitors from Central Missouri, meanwhile, they've lost 2 straight. Mules get their first points of the night, courtesy of a Kyron Tilley 3-ball. That puts them up 3-2 about 90 seconds in. But the Lions would quickly find their offensive rhythm. 8 minutes in, Justin Duff fires away from the top of the key. That shot falls. Southern takes a 13-12 lead. Minute later, Martin Macinas open from the far wing. His 3-pointer is good to put Southern up by 2. Then Isaiah Atwater running the fast break puts the moves on his defender and he scores. Lions lead by 6, but this possession would be emblematic of the entire night. Tyrone Wright rejects the shot here, but Mules get it back. Second chance jumper. That's no good. After another offensive rebound, Tilley hits a wide open 3. Southern gets off to a fast start, but fades away in the second half. Lions lose their 4th straight. Final score 78-56. And it's high school wrestling state tournament time here in the 4 states, in Missouri, Oklahoma, and in Kansas. We've had a ton of our wrestlers make the trip to state over the past couple days. And this morning at Miami High School, 4 War Dogs receive a hero's send-off as they make their way to the state tournament in Oklahoma City. Adeline Van Horn, Luke Shires, Dylan Blundell, and Hayden Miller. All 4 of them are excited to represent Miami on a big-time stage and thankful to have made it to this point.
My goal is I would love to place, I would love to win it, but I mean, it's just how hard I worked this year. I could have done way more, I could have done less, but I think I put in the work. I think it's gonna have a good outcome.
You know, I want to show up and just do what I can do. You know, show them like what school I go to and show them like who I support and just show them like my skills and how much I've improved this year.
That's it for sports. We're back after this.
The class of 2038 will begin school this fall, and the Carthage School District is helping parents get their soon-to-be kindergartners ready for school. Anthony Saviello takes us to a program put on by the district to help parents and their children take those first steps.
There are moments that come along when we are reminded that our children are growing up.
Do you guys know each other? Yeah!
Getting ready to take their first steps towards kindergarten is one of those moments.
It also helps parents understand what does it really look like to be a kindergartner in 2025. The expectations and what kindergarten looks like is very different from when I went to kindergarten. And so helping our families understand what they can do as parents to help make sure their child has a great start to their educational experience.
It's a chance for children to meet their teachers and for teachers to meet the families.
As a teacher, I just really like making that connection with the families early. Like, we are able to meet them, they can put a face with our names, we can put a face with their names, and then we can start building that relationship, and we can start telling them like what we're going to do for their kids and how they can get them ready for kindergarten.
All of them are tested.
Every year I'm kind of surprised by how much some of these students really know. They are at this age such little sponges that they really do soak up everything that's given to them. So I'm always excited to see what they've already soaked up and then what we can kind of take them on to the next level with.
And any questions a parent may have are answered.
I also think a lot of parents are worried about, what's that person going to be? Who's going to be their teacher? Who can I go to with questions? And so just really forming that partnership between the school and those parents to make sure each child is successful.
Lastly, it's time for a photo before they begin their next journey in the classroom. In Carthage, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Kindergarten First Steps program will continue tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you can't attend, you can contact the school district to set up a time for your child. Up next, from crime capers to heartwarming tales, new movies are hitting theaters this weekend. We'll take a look. From a star-studded crime comedy to an animated adventure and more, Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has a look at what's new in theaters.
Are we all gonna die?
New in theaters is the star-filled crime caper Riff Raff, starring Jennifer Coolidge, Ed Harris, Gabrielle Union, Pete Davidson, and Bill Murray. Its story follows an ex-criminal who wants a normal life, but when his ex-wife, their son, and his girlfriend show up, chaos ensues as he learns gangsters are coming for him.
I will come back for you.
Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu star in Last Breath, based on the true story of deep-sea divers racing to rescue a crewmate trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface.
Welcome to your new home.
The animated adventure, A Sloth Story, with voice stars including Leslie Jones, is about a sloth family who moved to the city with their old food truck and prized recipe book, hoping to make their business a success.
Why's my stuff out here?
Inspired by true events, No Address focuses on the struggles and resilience of individuals experiencing homelessness. It features Beverly D'Angelo, William Baldwin, Ashanti, and more. Producer Robert Craig Films pledged 50% of net profits from the movie, its documentary, novel, study guide, and soundtrack to nonprofits and churches across the country addressing this issue.
Who wants to start?
The dark comedy My Dead Friend Zoe is about a U.S. Army veteran struggling with PTSD and at odds with her family as she's haunted by the presence of her late best friend who she served with in Afghanistan. That's until her estranged grandfather begins to lose his way and is in need of help. The film is co-written and directed by Kyle Houseman Stokes, a former U.S. Army infantry paratrooper and Iraq War Bronze Star veteran. Its cast includes Sonequa Martin Green, Natalie Morales, Ed Harris, and Morgan Freeman. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a mountain lion cub enjoying his new outdoor space at the Oakland Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.